This is the guitar. So this instrument is from what is called the Manding regions of West Africa. And the Manding regions are what is covering modern day Mali, Senegal, Guinea, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau. It's a very large region of West Africa. And this is a tradition that predates those countries, the borders that we know today of those countries, which was created in more modern history. I say created, or rather carved out. What predates that division is the traditions which actually unite that region still today. There are many aspects of that culture which are still very, very much alive still. And the instruments, the language, the culture, the repertoire is still very much alive across all that region. It dates back to the 13th century, which is the time of the Manding Empire. That was one of the largest empires in African history, one of the most powerful also. And that is the legacy that was founded in that time, and since then for the next 700 years until today still. This tradition has been kept alive within certain families. And these families are called griot families. These families have the exclusive role and responsibility to keep this tradition alive, and it is continued within these families to be passed down from generation to generation for 700 years. My family, Jobarteh, is one of these families that has been doing this for centuries. And let's hope more centuries to come. So, within that context of understanding the history of my family, and that legacy that have gone before me, I write my music with that in mind. So this is one of the reasons why my album took a while, because I had to make sure that I could live up to that legacy that I am part of. This song, Nakanwo, talks about my identity within this tradition, my role and how I see myself in many ways as representing my voice, Nakanwo, my voice within this tradition as a female, but also a female living in society today. This is talking about traditions being alive. They live with people. They are not museum pieces that we go to Africa to observe. They are living and breathing organisms that grow with us. So this is part of what I like to say is not the modernization of tradition. This is actually part of the preservation of tradition, making sure we keep them alive, as I said, hopefully for another 700 years to come. So this is about my voice, my identity within this, understanding also that my music is a very honest expression of that role, that position I have in my tradition. It is not a fabrication. It is not something I've stuck together or fabricated or thought about or tried to calculate what's clever to do this and that. It is me. And when you hear, it comes directly from inside me. And what I'm saying in the song is, if you want to understand who I am, the answer is I am who I am. My music is what it is. That is the best explanation I can give you for me. Secondly, this song talks on the second half about music. And this is the reason I brought in an amazing blues musician from Alabama. His name is Jock Webb. And I brought him on because I wanted to have another voice that echoes my voice from the other side of a different experience for Africans. I'm talking from the continent, and I also wanted to hear the descendants also, another story that is incredibly powerful, and that was and is represented in the blues. because there is a connection, as you will hear in this song, between the style of what I'm playing, which is from Africa. You hear the direct link to the style that you all know as blues, but I'm playing it from the other side, right? So Jack Webb came to represent his story, his voice. And what I'm talking about at that point is how music is integrally connected to the people and the lives and the experiences and the sacrifices of those people. It is the language of their lives. It is not a style, it is not a scale, it's not a rhythm, it's not an interval. You can't theorize it. If you don't understand the people, you'll never understand the music. If you don't know the history, you won't know the music. So this is what he represents for me, to tell that story through sound. When you hear him play, you understand it without any talking. That he carries also the legacy of his ancestors through the music that he plays. And this is the connection that I'm talking about on this song. I am who I am, we are who we are, and the music is what it is. Okay, Nakamo.